Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 30th Annual Cobalt Congress. It is, as you know, the Cobalt Institute's flagship event, and it's always gathered key actors from across the cobalt value chain, and this year is no different. I'm really happy to see such a high turnout of delegates. It's 260 people registered this year, which is the highest we've ever had. It's just super to see everyone here today. We also have guests coming from all over the world, from Europe, Asia, South America, Africa, Europe. Cobalt really is a global resource, and we can see that in everyone who has come from all four corners of the world today. I'm really glad also to see so many delegates from across the cobalt value chain. Miners, recyclers, refiners, traders, downstream users, you're all here. And not only that, we're joined by those outside of the cobalt industry in the form of our government representatives and others. So they're all here because everyone knows just how crucial cobalt is. And I'm particularly thankful to Undersecretary Fernandez, to Deputy Minister Seto, and to Monsieur Lucama, Chairman of the Cobalt Institute member Jekamin, for joining us today and giving a keynote speech. I'm also delighted to welcome you to New York City. We chose this location in recognition of the fact that America's got a really growing role in the critical minerals discussion and the potential of the United States to challenge the traditional way of doing business is really enormous. So welcome to New York. I wanted to say a few words about the past year, which of course outside and inside of the industry has been one of change. Just pointing out three things that are fairly significant over the last year. First, the cobalt market continues to grow, to change, and to challenge. Businesses have to be much more resilient than ever. The cobalt market is just becoming more and more complex, and so it's just something to mark just how important it is to keep the Cobalt Institute as a place where everyone can discuss these complex issues. The second thing to observe, obviously, is the change in the geopolitical landscape around the world. We're seeing the global market reshaped. Geopolitics are going to reshape supply chains and trade agreements and investment flows. And it's funny to think that in our Cobalt Congress Market Report, last year was the first time that we included a geopolitics section. Boy, are we going to keep that for next year as well and going forward. And then positively, the third thing I would just obviously note is that the world is starting to acknowledge that cobalt is absolutely crucial to the transition to net zero. It's really become a front and center, and I'm particularly proud as a sustainability professional by background to be really at the beating heart of the world's waking up to our industry. We're going to discuss all of that over the next couple of days, but I wanted just to give a couple of words on our Cobalt Market Report, which is being launched here. I see lots of people in the audience thumbing through it already, which is great. It's got a lot of takeaways, which we will discuss extensively, but the first one is that despite what you all know is sustained market weakness, the cobalt industry grew in 2023. Demand reached 200 KT for the first time, and that's, we also know that electric vehicles have supported about half of that demand growth, and half of that market, and that is going to be a permanent fixture of growth that we see going forward. But the trend for the market is robustly upward. We also know that cobalt supply surpassed 200 KT last year, and lots of that is to do with the Kisanfu mine and also to increased cobalt supply from Indonesia. So I'm looking forward to hearing Pak Seto's remarks on that. We did note, and you note more than anyone, that prices did decline, but less so than in 2022, in 2023. It's predicted that by the mid-2020s, demand will start to match supply, and then we'll get movement in the prices. So the report is realistic, but it's optimistic, and it shows that the cobalt market is going to expand by 2030, and we are going to see it becoming more crucial to the transition to net zero, and that is good for business, so it's a win-win for us. So our report just says things are we're having price challenges, but hang in there, we're going to get through it. One thing I wanted to mention on this stage as well is that the Cobalt Market Report is not the only thing that we do. The Cobalt Institute produces a lot of things, and our teams continue to deliver research and advocacy, scientific and regulatory work on behalf of the members and our industry. To highlight particularly today is that we have had a dialogue on sustainability standards and assurance schemes over the last year. We know this is a topic that continues to confuse and befuddle so many people. There's just so many standards and expectations out there. So over the course of 2023, we set up workshops. We listened to more than 70 different stakeholders to understand what your needs and expectations are to collectively move forward on standards, which we know is an absolutely crucial thing for our members and others. So we will be issuing a paper towards the end of in the next few weeks on that. And my thanks to my colleague Susanna for pulling all that work together. It's been fantastic to see that come together with a lot of hard work. So thank you. So in conclusion, I just want to say what we all know, the cobalt industry has a lot of challenges ahead. We have to ensure that cobalt production is transparent, it's responsible, it's resilient, and makes our world more sustainable. We've got a lot of responsibilities ourselves, and we're doing this within a very rapidly changing geopolitical context. So we at the Cobalt Institute remain committed to serving you, to ensuring cobalt's central role going forward in the world. And we are so grateful to all of our members as well for really helping to shape everything that we do. So enjoy the Congress, and thank you for coming, and really looking forward to the discussions. Thanks.